yo, bro, my family, thank God for them. Like, I love my family. I wouldn't choose, man, it's not cool to be like stupid, basically.
Right.
No matter how ghetto we are, people really ain't even finished high school, my family, but it's super intelligent.
They value intelligence.
Intelligence. Like, so that's just that.
So at what point were you always like enlightened with this thought process, or something happened in your life that changed your thinking, or you've always been like this?
Always. And like death, man. Like people dying around you. Like that it crushed me, man. Like, even my father, like when I watched when I would visit my father, he was skinny as shit. I didn't know it told me he had AIDS at first, but then I found out he had cancer. And to watch him, like, my father's like my Batman, right? It's like the Batman, he was locked up. So to me, being in jail for that Batman, it was in a cave. And when he finally could get out, like, my father's like a jack person, you know what I'm saying? Like a not to be fucked with kind of guy. I promise to God to you. This is why I hear in the streets, but at home, I just know eating applesauce with him and he clean it up. You know what I'm saying? That's the old school music.
Right.
Cool guy, bro. But just to see him weak, though, it's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? It crushed me.
Make you think a lot about life.
Definitely. It made me want to be a man. I got tired of being a boy. I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to be. And I'm talking about this is like elementary. So my mind from watching my hero die, it was over with. Because God, to me, is my mother and my father combined in one. Like, that's my living God. There's nobody on earth could tell me those are not my gods. They're the one that put me on the planet. And spiritually, God is God. Like, that's how I think. So just to see one of my, like, the half of my God, like, disappear, I had to step in and have that godly body. My father was an intelligent person. I'm talking about write very well. I wrote his transcripts where like the prison made him walk 3 miles to go to the hospital.
Wow.
Like, he had a serious story. So just to see me coming from that kind of strength, I'm like, oh, hell, bro. Oh, I can't be weak. And I love reading. I was first person to ever probably open my mind was Nostradamus.
Mm-hmm.
Nostradamus. When I ever heard of Nostradamus, and I heard of Nostradamus from one of my favorite artists, Nas.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot from actually listening to Nas raps. But Nostradamus showed me everything. And from Nostradamus, I learned Tupac Machiavelli. I read the whole story of Machiavelli, and I wrote I knew about the Twin Towers thing when the Nostradamus is like, man gonna be able to stand on 2 tall buildings and an object like a bird is gonna hit. I read this in elementary school.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like years in a book. So I'm like, yo, hold on. Philosophy is real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as a kid, I was already tapped in. Then I grew up on like watching like Don't Be a Menace, Godfather, and the Mac. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and then my favorite video game is Zelda. So you got a guy that's like a philosopher, nerd, gangster. That's me.
So how old were you when your father passed away?
I was in elementary. I don't know.
So you were young.
Again, man, I don't like connecting to nothing.
Gotcha.
He ain't go nowhere physically out there. So that's how, for me, I could keep me together.
And so having a family that values knowledge and everything, how did you find your way from not getting sucked into the streets too much and staying out of the trouble that you could and building a career? Because I know that's very hard. You know, I in case you don't know, I did 3 years in prison myself for shit. So, you know, it's a similar neighborhood. You know what I mean? Didn't have any options or the internet to figure out other options. And the guys
Stay in prison with the race card. Boy, that shit real.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a wild place. Not an ideal place for anybody, you know.
I can't imagine it. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man.
Yeah. But you know, it's a learning experience. I learned what not to do, you know, and I learned the value of respect in there a lot too, you know. And so there's, you know, it's good and bad. You know, I try to look at like you say there's good and evil. I try to find the good in everything. Where was the lesson in that, you know? And I look at it as they removed me and put me, like you said, in the bat cave. They put me in the bat cave away from people that I wouldn't have separated myself from anyway. And I went about doing it the right way so that when I got out, I didn't have to watch my back or worry. I didn't tell on anybody or anything like that. Just went and did my time, you know, and when I got out, I didn't owe anybody anything. So I just started this whole new life like it never happened, you know, and man, it wasn't easy.
Listen, man, one thing about me, I'm not the smartest in the room. I don't know nothing. Like, I really feel like I don't know nothing. I do not feel like Waka Flocka at all. But one thing I know I would love to learn from a man like you is observation. Like, your whole life is, in them 3 years, was built up observing people. body language.
Yes. You
That's
can't bullshit me.
at all.
Yes.
See, as an artist, artists miss this. This is one thing I see every celebrity fuck up at, is they put people insecurity in front of them. So they miss the most powerful humanly trait ever, is interaction with another being. You would never know how I feel to interact with people now. You miss years of it. Now when you get older, you're gonna be just locked in and like, that's the fuck up. So, but in my career, I accepted everything. Even when people are like, oh, you trying to be gangster? I'm like, hell no, I'm with God. Like, how can I lose? Like, God would never put me nowhere I'm not supposed to be.
Right.
But that's fire. And I want to say I want to experience that. My cousin did he just did 26 years, but he feel like he like extremely regular. He said, "Why don't matter if you do a year or 100 years, it could hurt you, make you, or break you." Like,
yeah, I could be sitting here blaming it for whatever, or I could say, hey, I just got over it. I got word. By the time people watch this, I got word the other day the governor is going to sign off on me to get my gun rights back. So it's like a big deal. You know what I mean? So, it took me. I own 19 exotic cars throughout the last 4 years, and I ain't got a speeding ticket since 2008. Like when I say I've been on my shit, minding my business, man, I've been working hard for it,
Yeah, again, man, it ain't about minding your business. It ain't about fucking with people. Stop giving them power. It's about you living your life. You don't got to try to be a good guy no more, bro. You're a good guy. So whatever you do is what good guys do. It's nothing else. Like you experience to me, you experience like hell on earth. That's prison. That's hell on earth, man.
It has to be.
It's nothing nobody can tell you. Like, yo, you can't be a good guy. You have to be a good guy to make it out of this with a head on your shoulder. Like, good guys ain't making it. Bad guys ain't making it out of that. If they are, they coming with a purpose to do bad.
Yeah.
That's it. So you can't evolve and be a bad person. It's impossible. You have to be a good guy. You got what God wanted you to get from there. So, of course, they're going to grant you your rights. Of course, you're going to get a wife. Of course, you're going to have a good job because you're doing the best that you're supposed to do.
I like that.
You ain't changed shit, right? The word change for people like us, it could kind of hurt us, to me. I think it put us in the depression and the suicidal thoughts. Why? Because you don't want to change. You don't even want to forget where you came from or what you experienced. What you want to do is evolve. I'm looking at a guy that evolved.
I like that word.
So when you say I evolved, it's like, hey, I accept my past. No matter what y'all say, man. You can hit me, punch me, bruise me, stab me, cut me, whatever. But I'm who I am today. And I'm willing to accept everything I got to deal with that came from the past. But I would not turn the cheek to it. So when you evolve, that's what I'm looking at, my boy.
Man, I like the way you think, though. Because, like just in this conversation with me, I'm speaking like baseline stuff and you're taking it up to a higher level of thinking, instead of change, just you've evolved. I really like that though, man. I appreciate that.
The mind behind the words.
Yeah.
It's Gemini power,
I can dig it though. I like it, man. So a lot of people don't, they're not too open to correction and stuff. But me, I'm always like, hey, there's another level of thinking. I like it.